Pick 'em up truck class coming up next.
You're a front wheel drive driver.
We got some SUVs.
I need you up there to drop it right now.
We are second round eliminations for our truck class.
Got 2 and 2? Yeah, the same thing.
Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? Thanks for tuning back into another video. Today we're going to kind of sum it all up. I haven't really done anything since Streetcar Takeover, so we're going to do a bit of a recap, touch base on a few things. I'll let you know what's been going on and what's yet to come. So let's go ahead and roll the intro and get started. Guys, tonight's upload is going to be more of like a vlog format. At the track, I thought the car was hurt. I've checked everything out, what I've done with a compression test. I can only determine that it's ignition related after talking with Will and Ricky and some of them. I'm going to change the plugs, give it another shot. I tried to do that this past week. One of the main reasons you guys didn't see an uploaded video, but the tracks and I just had opposite schedules, so hopefully this coming week we'll get a little bit of time in and do a little bit of testing. But what I really want to talk to you about is some of the other projects. So sold the four-wheeler a while back, picked up another item that we're going to be talking about. I don't think you can see it here over my shoulder, but Streetcar Takeover, really hot, really long, a lot of asphalt. So I picked us up something else to be able to kind of cruise around on, for my wife to be able to kind of go from point A to point B while I'm in the car, so she doesn't have to walk her legs off. But I want to talk to you about it. I bought a Honda Grom, and in a previous video I talked about the Acura Integra. So we get it back from Infamous, new motor, new clutch, new flywheel, new engine mounts, some good stuff there. I'll walk you through that. And then on top of that, I sold the Integra and actually took an RSX in on trade for it. So that's going to be available here soon. And we've still got the EG hatch that we're putting a motor in. So a couple projects ahead of us, and a couple builds, a little bit of labor, and then hopefully some fruits of our labor. But let's go ahead and dive into it. So boys and girls, what we have is another Facebook Marketplace find. So what I found was 2018, not 2008, 2018 Honda Grom. The guy bought it new. It's got maybe 1,200 miles now. Let's see, 1,197 miles. He bought it new. It was kind of his first bike. They're awesome to mod, to learn on. And my wife's never really ridden anything other than like a small dirt bike. So this is perfect for the track. They're super popular, so eventually expect to see this up for sale. We're buying a few items, keeping them, using them, and then hopefully selling them and getting our money back. But this bike here is in great shape. There's a few small scuffs that you can tell maybe it fell over. They're not really bad, but overall it's in like great shape. The only aftermarket part is these handlebars. And what they are, see here, it's a Han Mini. They're super low profile. He gave me the factory handlebars and the factory mirrors that go in here. But really jet fightery look. I'll post a picture in here that I took. I think it looks like an Iron Man, like a Phantom Gray Iron Man. But that's going to save us a little bit of energy, and I've been riding it around myself. It's a lot of fun. I'm not sure if I'm going to tag it yet. My wife doesn't necessarily have a motorcycle permit or a license for North Carolina, so we'll probably just tool around on the track. That means whoever buys it will technically be the second owner. It'd be kind of cool for them. But it wraps up the Grom. So guys, the Grom's going to be pretty neat. It's going to be pretty cool to add to the channel. Hopefully we'll strap some GoPros to it and have a little fun in the meantime. But excuse me for a second, I'm getting ant eaten. I have a problem with these fire ants, so I'm going to spray these puppies down real quick with some of this insecticide stuff, and we'll come right back to you. Alright guys, where were we? So yeah, the Grom's going to be pretty cool. But what I was telling you guys in the beginning about the Integra, I originally bought the Integra on a Facebook Marketplace ordeal, and whenever I bought it, I never anticipated on keeping it. I just knew it was a good deal. I knew that I could put a motor in it or fix what was in it and then sell it and, you know, kind of flip it and make a little money, and that helps the channel. So in return, hopefully in the future, I'll get a little better at this and I'll produce a video whenever I buy one of these cars. But for now, I just don't have the time, if you will. But so yeah, the Integra, I bought it on Facebook, went and got it at midnight. I was told the distributor was bad and it had some burnt like exhaust valves, and it turned out to be completely true. By some diagnosis and ruling out the distributor, we really determined that the distributor was seized up. The crank sensor was actually good, but there's a couple articles, a couple forums that you can go to. I'll put a link to one of them in the description below. And what you do is basically take away 2 of the crankshaft position sensors or ignition pickup sensors and run it only off the one that's in the distributor or the one that's only on the crank. So whichever way you have, you can troubleshoot the other, which worked out pretty neat. You know, big thanks to Richard. But with that being the case, I had the distributor off. It was no count. So Infamous had a motor, so I hired Ricky and the guys to go ahead and put a motor in it. While we had the motor apart, the engine mounts were garbage. You know, the car had 240,000 miles on it and probably the original mounts. So with that being the case, I had mounts already ordered for the EG hatch. So I took those up there and started looking for a clutch because the clutch disc was already down to the rivets. I didn't really do any recording while I was there. But with that being the case, I didn't want to just put it back together because whenever I sell a car, I want it to be reliable. I don't want anyone to feel like I sold them a piece of crap, but I wanted to make something that was decent, you know, whenever I put it back together. So with that being said, I ended up buying an XTD clutch and flywheel off Ricky. It had some light use on it, but really good bargain. I think I gave him $100 for it, but it was super handy. It was on hand, so we stuck that in the car. I get the car back, and I mean, this thing's awesome, top notch. I buffed on it, cleaned it up, mainly like detailed it up. The wheels came super clean, so got really lucky there. There wasn't any pitting. They were polished drag wheels. They're like 8 inches wide, kind of look like a Roto J-Mag. I'll throw some photos in here while I'm talking, guys, so you can see what I'm talking about. But with that being the case, I got some people driving by looking at what I'm doing, but the car was, you know, really nice, and I found an RSX, and I'd actually reached out to him. He had already been looking at my Integra, so we worked out a deal. I took the RSX in on trade, and it may have some issues of its own, but we'll cover that in a different video. It's a pretty nice car. It's going to be available for sale probably in a couple weeks after we get the EG hatch done. But the EG hatch has got to take priority. If you remember, it's getting a B20, the LS transmission out of the EK hatch. The car's actually got everything other than a mount to reinstall AC. So we may actually have AC back on this one, but it'll be for sale here soon. So some really cool stuff ahead of us, but a lot of work. And if I can, you know, plan my time accordingly, I'll record some of it for you guys. The channel's growing. We've been like hovering around this 900 subscribers mark, and we can't hit that 1,000. I think we're like, might as well call it 100 subscribers away from 1,000, and we're like 1,400 watch minutes. We lack 2,600 watch minutes before we can monetize. So, you know, guys, I'm sweating it. I'm hoofing. You know, I'm trying to work out all the details, trying to produce content, get items in which they can fund the channel. So, you know, in the future, we may try to plan an event. If you guys would be interested in, you know, some kind of import drag racing event, probably here in the Carolinas, Mooresville, around Charlotte, Wilkesboro, somewhere in this vicinity, leave me a comment. You know, if you watch my video and you'd be interested in entering or spectating, be super affordable, be kind of just something to be able to get out and about, something smaller, low key. I'm really interested in your feedback, so let me know in the comment section below, and maybe we'll work out some details with Infamous and some of these other guys that have been a super help all this time. You know, I really couldn't have done it without a lot of these guys. A lot of the work I can't do myself. So I'm real thankful to have them on board. So boys and girls, let's break it down. Over the next week, you can expect to see a track video. It'll probably be filmed Thursday or Friday night. Seems to be the schedule around here. So expect an upload then. Before then, expect some, you know, B20 EG content. I've got the B20. I picked it up from HPT Autosport in a previous video. It needs an oil pan. The LS that I have that I'm pulling parts off of is currently at raw performance, so I've got to shuffle some stuff around there. I've also got to get a distributor for an LS off of Ricky at Infamous Motorsports, and I've got to return it to the guy that has the Integra now. So some good stuff, some shuffles, and I just got to work on the details. But ultimately, I'll give you a little quick clip. The B20 still intake manifold's got to come off. We've got to put an oil pan on it because this one is seen better days, much better days. Once we do that, we'll go ahead and we'll mount it to factory flywheel and the stage 4 comp clutch. We'll put the LS intake manifold on it, get it all super spiffy, get our correct distributor on it that we can probably rob off of the EK, because that's something completely different. So I'm not going to spoil it in this video, but Barney, whatever you want to call that purple, black, blue car that I've got in the trailer, he's getting some work. So big thanks to Raw Performance for, you know, kind of giving me the nudge. But we'll have some new content to talk about real soon. So back to this little guy. It's not going to be, you know, super simple to do this without an engine hoist. Originally I'd planned on picking up the car and like sliding the motor underneath like you've seen, you know, Young Static and a bunch of them do. But I have access to an engine hoist. So all of this conglomeration of junk we can expect to see gone probably in a week. I hope to pick that up here. So overall, guys, kind of got y'all wiggled around here. Got some new videos coming. Share them around. I've been posting them in a ton of Facebook groups. I think I actually had some permissions revoked. It's kind of a first for me, but apparently you can't post videos in just every group. But we'll learn as we go and be respectful of the rules. So guys, I'm going to end this video here. Catch you guys in the next one. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell for the notifications, and leave me some comment. If you want to see an event, I need some feedback. I'm not just going to put up this money and nobody comes. So if you want to see it, if you're interested, let me know. Be something kind of fun for Seth Church on YouTube. See you guys.